God puts it all together. We just don't know at the time. You know what I mean? So it's just pieces to the puzzle. We don't know what the whole puzzle looks like, but we know like, oh, okay, well, when I was 19, I was living in London. I was studying film. When I was 22, I was living in Atlanta on film sets. When I was 24, I opened my business, Selfie Cincy. I don't know where I'm about to be at 26.
Yeah.
But I know that somehow, or 30 or 40, but I know how somehow this creation, what I'm doing now, is going to later contribute to that. And you just got to know how to carry yourself through those ups and downs and those rejections.
Welcome back to another episode of The Highlight Reel. Today I have my friend Amari with me.
What's up?
Been looking forward to this. It's been I always say it's been a long time coming with people, but it's just because when I shoot with you longer than after I said it, like a lot longer,
yeah.
I'm like, dang, it took a little minute. But
time
now
passes.
we're here.
Yeah, time
now
passes.
We're here. Now we're
busy
here.
people, busy lives.
Exactly. So, Amari, how are you?
I'm amazing. I'm
Good.
well. I'm blessed, highly favored. Just taking it in, you know?
Yeah.
1 year in business, so it's
tell the people where we at. Tell the people where we at.
We are at my establishment. We are at Selfie Cincy, 1316 Main Street, the #1 selfie museum in Cincinnati, Ohio. Everything is just such a good time here.
Absolutely.
If you've been here, it's like literally a house of fun, I like to say, a museum of selfies. Like it's an amazing space and just super fun, exciting, entertaining, and it's my baby. So
beautiful. So, of course, here we are in Selfie Cincy.
Yes.
But do you think we're only gonna talk about Selfie Cincy today?
I don't know. I'm excited to see what questions you have curated for me. I'm not sure what we're gonna talk about, but I'm excited.
I've known you through a mutual friend for a while now, but we kind of just met within the last few years, I would say. And some of the stuff that I've seen that you've been doing and some of the stuff that I've seen that you've done has been really interesting to me, and I want to kind of dive into that. Because I would wonder, how does someone get into a selfie museum? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we got a lot to unpack and a lot to unravel today.
Absolutely.
All right. So first off, where'd you go to high school?
I went to School for Creative and Performing Arts.
Okay.
It's my alma mater. I would say the most pivotal times in my adolescent life happened at SCPA. You know, it cultivates a lot of tenacity in you, being in the arts and going to that school specifically. I would say it's hard. It's rigorous. You're not just, doing academia. You're also being creative. You're getting a lot of no's at an early age. So I went there from 6th grade through 12th grade. And I mean, rejection, they put that at the forefront, not necessarily to discourage you, but for you to, I said, have that tenacity and have that growth and want to be better and want to do better. So yeah, I love my alma mater. I tell people SCPA really creates champions, go-getters. We have some really great alma mater. We have some really great individuals that graduated from our alma mater. Some alumni that are just doing the damn thing in the industry. So it's always inspiring.
That's an interesting take because I've actually never heard of anyone dive into that aspect of it as far as the rejection.
Oh, yeah.
I just think whenever people think of SCPA, they think of just, creative, High School Musical, stuff like that.
It's fun. No, it's really fun. You got to think of the things that we do, the things we create, the shows, the musicals is really Broadway level style performances just at a high school. So it's really amazing some of the art that we pull out of ourselves at such a young age. But at the same time, they're really giving you those life skills. They're really putting you in the thick of it. I tell people all the time at Performing Arts, we don't have a specific bus route. We catch the bus with normal people, PNGers, not like that.
Go ahead, nah. You said it.
I mean, but truly,
people that don't go to school with you.
People that don't go to School for Creative and Performing Arts, at Woodward, they have the Woodward bus. At Withrow, they have the Woodward bus, where it's just high school students. No, we are on the bus with regular people, 9-to-5ers, everyday people that
you don't have buses that go straight to. Okay, I get
no.
You got to catch the regular bus.
The regular city bus you have to catch. So in that pursuit, every day we're learning new experiences. We're seeing new things every day that are impacting our art or our creativity. So that's why I said it's a different type of environment. We're not just around we're around our classmates and stuff like that, but we're also in downtown Cincinnati every day.
Yeah.
So it's just, you see different stuff down here. You see all different types of walks of life down here.
You do.
So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
I wanted to dive into that because I went to what some consider a rival school in a way. Went to Walnut Hills.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Because a lot of people talk about between those two schools, if you didn't go to one, you went to the other because you didn't make it at the other school. So my school is known for being, academically rigorous, like extremely rigorous. Whereas I know performing arts is thought of as a creative school again. So
creatively rigorous.
Did you know my cousin Lexi Hamner by chance?
Yeah. Lexi is like super talented. Like,
I know.
Really like talented, like crazy instrumental, like one of the tops of, she was in my graduating class. Yeah. So like one of the, So you see. So
again, that's a lot of my friends went there, and I almost went there because I would say I'm a very creative person as well. But I decided to go to Walnut Hills because of the academics, and I wanted to make sure that I could still play sports. Right. I did play sports. I was an athlete. And then I wanted to make sure that when I got to college, as far as the academics, I was set. Like I wanted to make sure that I was good to go. Again, when you brought up the rejection, I think that that's a very interesting thing that we'll get into a little bit later because you are a business owner. Yeah. Okay. So, but I want to talk about what did you major in when you were at Performing Arts?
So I double majored for a very long time. Okay. I was a major in drama and vocal music from 6th grade to 11th grade. In my 12th grade year, I focused on drama. So I focused on acting for my senior year. And then I actually went on to college to pursue theater performance and global education. So I did. Yes. So it was like a program where you could like get your certificate in global education while also like studying abroad and then like taking, those types of international classes. So I did both at the same time. Yeah.
You do travel a lot.
I love traveling.
Did that help you?
Help me? I
think you got to get the experience and just being in those
I started
places.
Traveling after I was in that program, actually.
But I'm saying, has that like made things easier for you, I guess, when you are in those cultures to make
absolutely. Like it's a different perspective. I tell people all the time, like if you want to change your perspective on things, travel the world. See different people, see different cultures, talk to people that don't quite talk the same way as you or live the same way as you. Yeah. It definitely, it impacted my business greatly because I'm not just talking to people from Cincinnati every day. I'm talking to people from all over. Like people come from Chicago, but they may be from, I don't know, Africa, or they come from all different types of cities, Indianapolis, Louisville, like you know what I mean? Like, but they're all from different places, if that makes sense.
So that education makes you think bigger. Like, so because your business is placed in Cincinnati, but when you talk to people that come into the store, you don't think about just the people here. You kind of think that.
Yeah. Well, that was my purpose, I would say, in starting this business wasn't necessarily to impact my city. Like, of course, it's called Selfie Cincy. Like, you can't get away from the name. But at the same time, I wanted people from all over and all different walks of life to come into the space and have one purpose, which is to have fun and be entertained. So I know for me, the idea of my business came from me traveling the world and going to like bigger cities such as Miami, New York City, LA. I went to a museum in Tulum, and it was like a crazy immersive experience. And it's called the Mystica. And it was like such an amazing experience. And I'm like, wow, I'm from America. Like, I'm not from Mexico. I don't know this Mexican artist who curated this whole thing, but it's something that impacted me, and I'm from halfway across the world. So I think that's what kind of inspires me too. Or like when I was studying abroad in London, I went to a couple of museums out there, and they were just like, of course, crazy, beautiful artwork, but I'm like, wow, I'm in the UK. Like, I'm not even in, at the Contemporary Art Center in Cincinnati or anywhere close to where I'm from. Like, I'm halfway across the world, and museums are everywhere. So that's why in my bio, if you go to my Instagram, it says 25-year-old museum owner. Because that's like what I curated for myself, that I own a museum.
I think not to categorize yourself, but it kind of allows you to expand instead of just saying Cincy museum owner. It's like, I'm a museum owner, and I'm also one of the many in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's the perspective. Definitely the perspective, I would say, is the most beautiful thing. You got to have an open mindset. And when you travel, you start to gain that perspective. Like you start to really open your mind to new things or different things that you have never seen before.
So these are things that what I'm getting from that is from your experiences and from the global education that has allowed you to have that kind of perspective, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now let's go back to drama.
Yeah.
Because I really want to get into that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you studied drama and at SCPA, and then you went to VCU.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you were studying drama there as well.
Yes. So over
dive into
12
that.
years, I was at performing arts in 6th grade. So you're like, what?
12,
11, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anywhere between 11 and 13.
Any age, it depends. And I'm 25 now. So almost over 10 years of experience in acting. And to be honest, I actually started acting, and I started with classical performances. So like Shakespeare, Moliere, different, just
a woman of class.
Yeah. So when I talk to people sometimes, it's crazy because I really don't realize I'm saying words that everybody doesn't understand.
Oh.
And that will come out my vocabulary. And then they be like, what does that mean? I'll be like,
words like what?
I don't know. Like stupendous.
That's a synonym for great. Amazing, beautiful,
but
brilliant.
You went to Walnut Hills. It's
okay.
Okay. You know that. Or immaculate, superb, different words like that.
Oh,
people don't, the everyday person.
Those are, wow. I've never thought of it like that.
You're right. The everyday person they're not.
Good point. Because if you were to say that to me, I'd say, oh, okay. I'm on the same page with you.
You understand that because you went to a rigorous high school, but the everyday person that went to just a regular high school doesn't use those type of words. I use those type of words because my education was grounded in elevated speaking. Classical text was very it was just hot. You just speak in heightened language.
Elevated speaking.
Elevated just speaking.
No, it makes sense because some of those words will probably pop up in scripts.
Yeah.
And then you'll say,
absolutely.
Oh, what is that? I want to start using that in my vocabulary.
Absolutely. So I think with that being said, the drama part, it's just something that always has set me apart because it has expanded, one, my imagination, hence why this place looks it looks. And two, just all in all, the way that I speak, the way that I think, I just think about things that I can really just imagine. I can just imagine and sit and just think about things or just wonder and really plan, but also be the sky is the limit. It sounds so cliche, but at the same time, when you play every day for 10 years, and when you do improv and you kind of are making up scenarios as far as oh, this microphone isn't a microphone, it's a banana. This is a banana. The banana is yellow. You don't see the yellow banana?
So you're saying it's like improv. With improv, you'd have to just think on the fly and stuff like that. Yes, and this allows you to adapt and pivot.
Absolutely. So it's who's to say anything that I desire, anything that I want won't work out? One, because I have faith in God. I have a strong faith system, but also because I've been given the ability and also just have the capability to imagine and dream and also put action behind those dreams and make them a reality. This was a thought for me for some time, but I never was oh, my goal in life is to own a selfie museum.
Yeah, see, because we have to get into that. Because before we go there, I want to know what stopped you from, continuing with drama. Because I've seen that you model.
Yeah.
And I've also seen you in a movie. Yeah. And in some other skits and stuff like that. So it seemed like there was some progress going with that.
Absolutely. I've always acted. I've always modeled. So I began modeling at the age of maybe 10, 11. So around the same time. Yeah. But for me, I continue to act as well. So acting and modeling were kind of asynchronous for me. They came at they came at the same time.
I'm with you. Yeah.
They were synonymous. They were on the same page for a very long time. But acting, I feel as I grew as a woman and as an individual, the things that were being put on television, or because we'll just
say it.
It's a lot of moving pieces to the puzzle. So I graduated with my theater degree in 2020. So in 2020, it was the pandemic. So there weren't any theaters open, and a lot of theaters had shut down for the time period. So I had to pivot in the direction of TV and film.
Makes sense.
The puzzle pieces are, I actually studied film production back in 2019, when I had, was getting my theater degree, but also studying global education. I had took like film production classes and learned how to edit videos. That's why I do so well with like editing reels and editing my footage for my business and my personal brand, is because like I studied that for a summer in the UK. So when the opportunity came to pivot in the direction of film and television, I wasn't really scared, because I was like, I've been behind the camera. I've shot music videos. I've shot short films. I can act in it because I also have the skill to act, So it was a different type of, muscle that I was going to have to use, but I knew that I could still do it. You know what I mean? It was just like, I took some film classes where I had to, do monologues and skits on film, but I didn't never consider myself a film actress. You get what I mean? I always consider myself live theater, Broadway, like, theater houses. Like I never.
But what's the difference?
It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. It's like a huge.
I think I'm showing my ignorance. Let me think.
Fine. It's like saying what's the difference between Viola Davis, and who's a reality star? I don't know. Like Viola Davis is classically trained. You can put her on a stage, you can put her on a TV screen, and she can make that transition. But like a reality TV star, you don't need training to be on TV sometimes. Like some television personalities never do theater because
they're just being themselves, though.
It's just a different type. Yeah, but that wasn't a good analogy because of like reality and also like actual films are different. But if I take Viola Davis for instance, like it's like comparing her to her performance in Fences.
I knew you was going there.
Versus her.
That started out as a play.
Yeah, it started out as a play, or like taking. Like it's a different muscle. Like being on stage is way bigger than being on film.
Really?
It's way different.
It's way different?
It's way different.
One is, so I would think
it's way
if
different.
if you're performing on stage, then you might have to project a little more so the back of the room can hear you,
bigger.
Right?
It's bigger. It's also in real time. I was in a show. I was in a show in college. If you look this show up, it's called In the Red and Brown Water by Terrell Alvin McCraney. It's a really great, phenomenal play. And I was the lead of it. And my character, she lost her mother in the play. So she broke down. Like it was a part of the...
You had to cry?
I had to cry.
On the spot?
Every day. Like,
is that hard for you to do?
No, it was not hard. It was just... You have to mentally like
take yourself to a place,
a place, but also you have to be like, I remember one time I was crying so much that like my makeup was running because I couldn't stop. Not saying I couldn't stop crying, but I was like, damn, I'm crying more today than I was yesterday. Like, wow, what happened in my today where I'm like, wow. So it's a different type of muscle. Like acting is a different type of emotion, and you have to drop into it like right then and there. I think I heard like some study where they were like, acting in a play, like a full play, is the equivalent to having like 200 heart attacks. Why? Because like you're like on it, like you're just at a pace.
It's like one take.
Yeah. No. It is one take, but it's like in film you get to have multiple takes.
Exactly. And you don't get as many takes.
No.
I can see that.
So your nerves, like you're just
in the play
at a 25 versus being on television where you're at like maybe a 4.
Dang.
But it depends. Some movies, they have more, you have to evoke more emotion, of course, but you always have that opportunity to take it again. You get what I mean? Or for the director to be like, no, make it smaller. No, make it minimal. No, make it obsolete. You know what I mean? Like in a play, it's like, no, you rehearse to get it to the level that you want it to be. And then every single night. And then the audience is a factor too. With the camera, we're sitting here, but we don't know anybody's reaction until they watch it and they comment on it. You know what I mean? Or like in a film, somebody writes a review, but in real time in a theater, somebody can laugh at a line and you be like, this shit is not funny.
Yeah.
Like, what are you laughing at?
Does that make it harder for you to do that? Or does it maybe help? Because if you could feel that the crowd feels sad or feels jolly, then you could play into that because I already know if the people are feeling that.
It's a skill because somebody can laugh at a line and you be like, why is they laughing? This is not
Has that ever
funny.
made you crack?
No. It's a part of you have to know how to like, you have to know how to work it. Like, it's like, if somebody laughs at it, it's like you still have to take a pause because you can't just go into the next setup. Because what if they miss the line that is gonna set up for another or a piece of information? You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like you almost have to pause for the audience to have their reaction and then like get back to it. Yeah, it's a lot of live theater is a beast. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a beast. Like, even if a crowd is just not responsive, like you would say the funniest fucking line in the show, you'd be like, I know this is gonna have them dying laughing.
And it's not
nothing.
Dang.
Nothing.
You be salty?
I mean, it's not salty, but it's like you just gotta move past it. Like, damn, like, yeah. But you can't. You just gotta be ready for those moments. That's why I said it's being classically trained in theater versus like you want to be like, oh yeah, I want to be a movie star. Like, it's totally different.
So I'm guessing this helped you to build somewhat of a thick skin in a way?
No, I would say the rejection definitely helped me build a thick skin. Like, it's definitely hearing no so many times. It's almost like I'm able to, one, appreciate the yeses, of course, but also just not be like, damn, so down about the no. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, okay, we move on, we progress. Because it's like at performing arts, for example, it's like in a movie. Like when people say like High School Musical stuff, it's funny because like when they post that list and they go down and your name not on it, it's literally like that. Like, dang. So it's like you go up there, you just know you made it. You just notice with your audition where you killed it, and you look on that list and your name's not there, and everybody knows your name's not there because they can go look at the list. And it's not like they leave the list up there for a day. No, the list is up there for like weeks, damn near.
And
like,
you get to see. Oh, you have to really sit with that.
Yes.
Like, dang, my name is still not up there.
And then they start rehearsing. Like, what do you mean? But it's like you go through that sort of feeling multiple times. Like, so it's you just got to get back up. You just got to really know what it is. Why are you doing it? What's the purpose of you doing it? How you feel when you're doing it? Like, you just got to really internalize those emotions and those feelings to like be better. So I think that's why I really appreciate that experience, because it's like, man, first off, we're the only kindergarten through 12th grade performing arts school in the country.
Okay.
So like, there's no other school that trains youth, kids, adolescents, teenagers to be performers. You can go to performing arts from kindergarten through 12th grade. You can learn to be a cellist, a pianist, a violinist, a trombonist, actor, singer, dancer for damn near your whole life. Man,
y'all really are trained. Really trained.
And I went to performing arts in 6th grade. It was people who was there, like I said, before me, doing the same thing every single year.
Dang.
Crazy.
Wow. So I want to bring it back a little bit to some of your, business acumen, because I think that being able to have a storefront is a big thing. A lot of people will have a business for a while, but like never get a storefront. Yeah. So I think it's really cool that you've been able to do that. Yeah. But you have been trained in other areas. Right. So where does that business acumen come in?
I always have been pretty, I wouldn't say business oriented, but my senior year in high school, I was senior class president. So if you went to graduation, you would have saw me speak.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I'm like,
you flexing.
I'm like, no, I'm not flexing. No. It's
slight flex.
I'm not flexing. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Hey,
I was there and I did see you. I did see you. I was there.
But I'm just saying, I've always been a person that has been very focused and driven. So when the opportunity came about, it was God's timing. Because like I said before, I never was like, I'm going to open a selfie museum. Yeah. No, it was not like that. It was more so I had this idea. I sat on this idea. God brought it back in a way where I could actually, you know, bring it to life. And I was actually, you know, able to execute it in the form of a storefront. Because it could have went different ways. I could do pop-up selfies. Like, you know, I could do pop-up selfie booths all over the city. Like, but a storefront in the city that I grew up in, downtown specifically, literally 2 blocks over from my high school. So it's like I can literally walk from here to my high school. Full circle moment. And it's crazy because I tell people that all the time. It was nothing but God's timing, because me and my closest high school friends, we literally used to, after school every day, walk around downtown and take pictures. We used to get kicked out of places because we would just go in there to take pictures. The donut shop, Hopeman's Donuts. We would go into Skyline Chili. Like, we would go to all these different places. All the places that you see on this wall is where we would go and take photos all day long after school.
I want to know, though, did anyone ever say that was a dumb idea?
A dumb idea?
Yeah.
As far as the museum?
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking, because it's kind of out of left field in a way.
Nobody ever said it was a dumb idea, but I knew people knew that people didn't understand what I was doing. And it wasn't for them to understand. And that was okay with me. You know what I mean? If I was doing it for the justification of other people, then it would have hurt me so badly. Like, it would have been like, damn, like, nobody gets it. Nobody understands it. Like, even my own parents, like, they didn't understand it at all. They didn't understand the concept. They didn't even get it until, like, the business was already up and running and they saw, like, people in here and taking photos. But that was like maybe 2-3 months I had been in business. Like, they still didn't get, like, imagine building something and creating something. Imagine building a boat and them not understanding, like, how a boat works. And then you done had this boat for 3 months and then they be like, by daggone it, it's a boat.
You're an actor, man.
Like, it's a boat. Oh my goodness, I get it now. Like, that's how I felt. That's literally how I felt. But I didn't do it for the justification of anybody else. I didn't do it for my friends. I didn't do it for my family. I strictly did it for, I had this idea. God gave me this idea. And if I don't get this idea out of my head, it may kill me. Like, that's how strongly I felt about it. Like, I was like, I have to do this. Because it was just, going back to the business question that you asked me, and the opportunity to have a storefront, it was because everything just was lining up. And it was like, bro, if I don't do this, like, I won't get this opportunity again. Like, if I don't take this chance, if I don't take this leap of faith, if I don't step out on faith, like, I literally won't be able to do this, and this idea will die inside of me. That's how, like, it seems extreme, and I know I'm dramatic, but like, obviously, but like, that's literally at the time how I felt. And when I started my business, I was working in corporate America, and at the time I was like, this is killing me. I was like, I don't want to work in corporate. Like, I'm so creative. I could be a movie star. I could be doing something so much better than sitting behind a desk. But God gave me the idea. And it came back around, because 2 years ago, like 2 years prior to when I started my business, I spoke with somebody who wanted me to, you know, start the museum, and it just didn't work out. So, like, basically the leasing company, 3CDC, we were in talks 2 years prior, and I was like, it's not gonna work out. Like, I don't, you know if it'll work. So
you were having doubts?
Not having doubts. It was just more so like the timing wasn't right. Okay. The timing wasn't right. And
timing messed a lot of people up.
Man.
The timing ain't perfect, so then the time is never perfect.
So it was like the timing wasn't right. So when it resurfaced again 2 years later, I was like, I'm ready. Like, I was like, this is the time. I was like, I'm ready. I feel it. Like, I got to jump on this opportunity. So everything, and that's the thing too. People always, if it's for you, it's for you. It's not going to miss you. It's not going to pass you. It's not going to skate past you. It's literally going to be placed into your lap. Like, if it's for you, it's going to be handpicked and given to you. So I try not to get discouraged. And that's the thing about the rejection from performing arts. It never, at the beginning, yes, I was super sad, cried, of course. Like, I had to get that emotion out. But then after a while, I started to be like, you know what? This is a part of the process, and my opportunity is going to come to me, and I'm not, like, my name is going to be up there. It's never not going to be up there. Like, eventually it's going to be on that paper. And nobody can't tell me otherwise. So what's for you is for you.
Wow. Because as I'm listening to you, I'm trying to think about how everything is coming together. Because again, the rejection, that's actually one of the hardest things that people, I think, will deal with in life. And
I face rejection in my business all the time.
But even before you got here, how you were basically built for that. Because as I'm hearing you talk, I'm thinking, dang, you kind of were built for this.
Yeah. I mean, it literally, I tell people all the time, favor ain't fair. Like, if you got favored and you know you got favored, that's something you can't really mess up. You can, but like at the same time, if you know it, you got it, you maneuver in a way that you got it, if I'm being completely honest. But that's like faith talk. Like people be saying they got faith, but they really don't got faith. Like, you got to really act in a way and move in a direction. Is like, yo, God gonna really work this out. And I ain't got to stress. I used to be a type of person where I used to sit and I used to be like, God, but when you gonna work it out though? I used to really be toe up. I used to be like, Dad, when is this gonna work out? No, you said it's gonna work it out, but how long it's gonna take? But now I kind of have to maneuver in a way, or I do maneuver in a way where it's just like, I don't let anything I'm pretty even keel. Like, I don't let things get me. I have a lot of emotions, but like, I don't like
it's interesting.
Be super down or like, damn, like, I can't believe this didn't work out this way, or like, I'm super upset. Like, nah, it really don't be that serious. You got to realize none of this stuff is like as serious as we make it, honestly.
Because usually when I see you, I would say you're either even keel or you're more on the upbeat.
Yeah, for sure. But I think like for me, when things didn't go my way, like in college, I used to be like, I would be a bomb. Like, I would just be like, what the? Like, why is this going this way? Like, oh my God. But now when things don't go my way, I look at it as an opportunity to pivot. Like, that's probably as a business owner, that's the best thing you can learn how to do is pivot.
But again, you've had experiences that kind of forced you to adapt and pivot.
Exactly.
So that's why.
That's the thing. Like, when I didn't want to, sorry, this is funny.
Go ahead.
This is funny, but I didn't want to go to, this is going to sound like I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to preface it. Okay. I'm not going to preface it. It's going to sound bad, but I'm not going to preface it. I didn't want to go to film school in London. Like, that was an opportunity that I was blessed with, but like, the program I wanted to go to got canceled a week before. Like, a week before I was getting on my flight to go to London, the program, which was a Shakespeare program where I would be studying Shakespeare in London, got canceled. And then I ended up having to go to film school, not knowing that later I would have to take those skills that I learned in film school to do film acting in Atlanta. Like, you know what I mean? So it's different things where it's like God puts it all together. We just don't know at the time. You know what I mean? So it's just pieces to the puzzle. We don't know what the whole puzzle looks like, but we know like, oh, okay, well, when I was 19, I was living in London. I was studying film. When I was 22, I was living in Atlanta on film sets. When I was 24, I opened my business, Selfie Cincy. I don't know where I'm about to be at 26. But I know that somehow, or 30 or 40, but I know how somehow this creation, what I'm doing now, is going to later contribute to that. And you just got to know how to carry yourself through those ups and downs and those rejections and those different phases in life where it's like, damn, I'm in corporate right now. I hate it. But
that's a reality.
I'm learning customer service. I'm learning how a business works. I'm learning how to email people, like properly email and communicate with people. So like, yes, I hate my job, but
these are the good things that I can get from it.
Exactly. And later, as I'm moving into having my own business, I was working for a Fortune 500 company. So it's like, I know how they operate. I know what they do. I know how they talk to their employees. So now I have employees. Now I know how I need to speak to my employees or how I need to email and communicate with them. So it's just like, it all has a greater purpose.
I do want to expand on that a little bit. So you've had all these experiences that have brought you to a point where you were able to start your business and, you know, you've been growing it and now you've had a team. What have been the hardest parts about trying to grow something that's been your baby, but then you kind of have to give some of that away to allow other people to help you? Because I know that's something I struggle with, and that's something that a lot of people will probably have to deal with at some point.
Absolutely. Honestly, as a leader, you have to know when you have to let others lead. So me, I can't lead everything. I wish I could be at a million places at one time, but I can't. Like, I physically can't.
Yeah.
And it tears me up. But like, you just know as a leader, you can't lead all the time. Like, yeah, I can lead my team and give people direction and a different task that I want them to execute, but then they have to lead those individual initiatives. So also it's very important. It's very pivotal that when you build a team, you know people's strengths. So when I bring people onto my team, I'm like, what are you passionate about? What is something that if it's not going your way, you won't get upset and quit on me? Like, what is it? Because that's what I want you to do. Like, if it's painting, well, we're going to put you as the executive painter.
Yeah.
If it's reels and TikToks and social media, well, you're
leading that, yeah.
Social media manager. Like, you just have to really know people's skills and don't assume, just ask them. Like, literally just ask them, like, look, what are you passionate about? Like, what is your goal right now? Every time I interview somebody for Selfie Cincy, I always ask them, well, what are you looking for in your career right now? Why do you want to join Selfie Cincy, and what is your goal right now, or the next 6 months, or the next year? Why are you leaving your old position? What do you want to bring to us? You know what I mean? Just asking people the right questions and getting the answers up front instead of guessing or like choosing wrong because you didn't ask the right questions it's almost like dating. You literally just got to ask them questions. Like, just ask them questions up front and move on. Like, honestly, if that's the advice I can give, is just ask them questions up front. And if they don't align, then just move on. You know what I mean? So there's somebody else that is going to have those qualities and those things that you're looking for. So, yeah.
It's hilarious that you compared it to dating.
It is. It is, though.
Because I was gonna maybe dive into that a little bit because I've seen some content that you made around dating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just dropped the video yesterday.
Yeah. So I was gonna
the bare
get into
minimum
that.
I will not accept.
Nah. But I was also gonna give you a little flack because a few months ago.
Flack?
Yeah, flack. Stupendous.
Flack?
Never heard of flack?
No, I'm saying like flack about what?
Remember when I came to that event and I shot some content for you?
Yeah.
And you didn't use it.
You sent me those links?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use that.
It's okay.
Dag, no, that's my fault.
Your time.
No, that is my fault. No, because that is my bad. I apologize.
I'm not tripping.
I apologize.
I'm not tripping. I promise.
Because that was good. I watched all of that. Dag.
So you did?
Yes. When we were sitting right out here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Why
watched
didn't I
it.
use that?
I interviewed you.
I know everybody. Dag.
It's okay. Nah,
Sorry.
I thought it would be funny just to bring that up. But
charge it to my head, not my heart.
Nah. All right, I got you. I'll do that. Yes. But Amari, I think that you have a very interesting story because you have, like I said, you had the experiences that have allowed you to kind of build a thicker skin and to be able to adapt, pivot, but also have the imagination to take your ideas somewhere, but also be prepared for other people to not accept it and to still move on it. Because that's where I would say I relate. Like I've had a podcast and not everyone will watch it or support or whatever, but you still got to move and do the thing because this is your baby.
Absolutely.
So this is your idea and you got to kind of, if you don't use it, like you said, it'll die with you and that's going to really kind of infuriate you.
Yeah.
So you got to keep moving on it.
Have you seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Not yet.
You should watch that. It's a really good film. Like it's very like sci-fi, but at the same, it's really good sci. If you like sci-fi, you'll love it. It's crazy sci-fi, but it just talks. Well, it has many elements to it. So I'm not going to say like they talk about it. They really visually show you too, like all of the different paths that you take lead to another path that leads to another path that leads to another path. So like, let's say you don't start your podcast.
Yeah.
You were not here.
Right. It's a lot of people I don't meet. It's a lot of places and rooms I'm not in to meet those other people.
Exactly.
Sounds like I need to watch that.
Exactly. You have to. So that's my task for you and all the viewers is watch that. It's really good. It's really good. It's different. It's sci-fi, but visually it shows you that like we have a lot of different paths, a lot of different journeys, and those contribute to where we are today or where we would have been or, where we are to be. So
see, I think it's actually important that you brought that up because one of the reasons why I like to speak to my guests is to learn how you got here. Because your life could have very well been very different.
Oh,
because like I said, when I look at your page and everything, I see that you could have been an actress.
Yeah.
And like you still act and everything, but that could have been maybe something that you leaned into more heavily at one point. And when I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, wow, this could have been very different. So why did you come here?
Yeah.
Why did you do this when you could have been there?
Yeah.
So I think it's really interesting that you've been able to pivot and do all these different things.
Absolutely.
Because again, I'll be honest, like a selfie museum is something that, like, as an idea, I'm thinking, wow, who would think to do something like that? Because it's, in a way, it's simple, and that's part of the reason why people come to it. But it's making me think, what would take you there to think about that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I loved acting. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it. I'm an actress. That's who I am at heart as well. But I will say, acting can become very singular sometimes, like especially film specifically. It can be sometimes like self-gratifying, and I didn't really like that. Like me, I wanted to see how I can impact people on a greater scale, like actually seeing the people that come to Selfie Cincy, that celebrate their birthdays, their anniversaries, their milestone years.
You want to be able to serve others.
Rent out the whole space for different things. Yes, serving others and like offering a place of positivity and just creativity, and we're able to do stuff like this, push, your ideas, brands, goals forward, to the forefront and just impact other people. Like acting, I'm not going to say it doesn't do that. It does do that. But for me personally, and just being in the industry like 2 years ago, I mean, the industry is so up and down too. Like I would say that it's not consistent. Like, there's so many different things that go into landing a role. Like you said, the rejection, but also being typecasted. The roles that you're given are what other people think of you, not necessarily what you think of yourself. You're bringing up
a lot of excellent points.
Yeah, so it's a lot of that consideration. I think for me personally, the reason I pivoted, and I was so blessed to be able to work on Don't Ask, Don't Tell 2, because Jawan reached out to me and wanted me to play that role. So, and I was able to work with one of a really good friend of mine, and really great friends of mine throughout the whole process. So that was beauty in that experience. And I think I appreciated the opportunity more because I was so close to the writer, I was so close to the producer, and I was so close to the other characters as well, versus somebody being like, oh yeah, you fit girl number 2, or you fit girlfriend next door. You know what I mean?
It was more of a relationship that said this makes sense compared to you look like blah, blah, blah. So this is why we put you.
Oh, you look like my ex-wife, so I think you would be perfect for the ex-wife role. Like different stuff. Like you don't, it's so cliche. The things that you would be surprised, the things that the reason why people get roles within the industry is so out of your control, and it's so, who knows who, or, it just depends on certain likeness or different things, who looks better with which character. It's based off what you look like and your appearance a lot. And I just kind of was like, it can be superficial sometimes. Like the industry, especially if you're in it consistently and working and stuff like that. Like that's why I appreciated theater when I was acting, and before the theater got shut down in 2020 because of the pandemic. I appreciated it so much because if I'm crying, I can hear somebody sniffling and they're crying because they relate to losing their mother or their aunt or somebody that was a mother figure to them, or they're laughing because it's funny. Like they want to laugh because this is hilarious because I went through the same shit with my cousin. Like, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that is what I really enjoyed about theater, like in live theater specifically, and what I will do on Broadway. Like I'm definitely still speaking that into existence.
Okay.
Like
love to hear
your girl will be on a stage. I mean,
let's go. Okay.
So I mean, it's definitely not over, and that's another thing too with like writing and scripts and stuff like that. I really I'll go after those roles that I want. Like I definitely will. TV right now, I'm not really seeing anything that is like, I need to be on this. Like this is my, you know what I mean? Yeah. So the industry changes, and it's like a pendulum. So it like goes back and forth. So right now,
I know
it's
what pendulum means. I got you.
Yeah. For the viewers, I'm sorry, they're gonna think like this girl.
No, I got you.
No, but you know,
yeah.
So it's definitely it sways and it has its ebbs and flows. So definitely, my time will come. I'm not discouraged.
Well, Amari, I do want to say thank you for, highlighting different things about your life and different aspects into how you got here and being very real about it. Absolutely. And I do want to ask, as we start to wrap up for the episode, if there is anything that you would like to share with the viewers and the listeners of this episode.
I just want to say thank you, literally, to anybody that has stepped foot in Selfie Cincy, that has shared a post, that has liked a post, brought your family, your friends, celebrated with me when I had creative events. I just want to say thank you, because like 1 year in business, it was way better than I expected. So I'm just excited to grow in the city, and I just want to thank everybody for just showing support to something new, something different, something that you might not have understood, but you came through the doors with an open mind, and you were able to just have fun and just enjoy the space. So I'm just thankful.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say for anybody that hasn't been here, I definitely think that you should come here. Every time I come in here, it's a good time, good people, some good music. You'll see Amari. It's always a good time. Literally. But Amari, I do want to say again, thank you for being a guest on the Highlight Reel. Yes. And thank you to the listener, viewer of this episode. I hope that you've been able to take something away. Like I said, come down to Selfie Cincy. Come down and see Amari, please. Because it's a good place to be. Yes. And with that being said, one more time, thank you, Amari.
Thank you.
And that's been your episode. So peace out.